So we're up to session 9 or 10. I'm blanking on which at the moment. Uh, so Paelius was unconscious and so couldn't possibly remember what happened last session. But who wants to recap? Can't hear you, Mike.
So we're going into the mirror big top. Um and then uh because of a glitch with how it appeared, Pebble's token was well into the area. So we just said Pebble didn't wait and Leroy Jenkins right into it. Um
Oh, I didn't.
Managing
I didn't realize that your token just happened to be there. I thought you physically just ran in.
Oh no, it just it popped up there. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with it. And then Pebble managed to succeed on the stealth check to get there. Um after so essentially it was three hags in surrounding a an arcane sigil in the ground with the Shebop floating in the center, and above her was the Bop token, uh,
Bops, yeah,
the
the Bob
the
Stone.
Bop stone. And then so they were chanting and focusing on that, and when they noticed us, they had their minions attack us. So Sow Pig and the choky gremlin guy, um, and we also had uh what's that guy's name?
Kettle
Pedal
steam.
steam.
Yeah, Kettle Steam. They're supporting us. And then tons an endless wave of like minion shadow things. Through the course of the battle. Oh, and there was a newcomer as well, some kind of um
So
cold or
yeah, you
yeah.
had fought Gleam Shadow before. The first time you went into the Hall of Mirrors, she came out of one of the mirrors and attacked.
Okay. So yeah, so we were Gleam Shadow was fighting Pebble, unaware that Pebble is immune to frost damage, which was a majority of what her attacks dealt, although she didn't really know it because she kept missing. Um at one point, Pebble did a sweet slide through the hag's legs to triple kick Gleam Shadow. And so the fighting began, and uh, everybody then, once Pebble kind of started things off, ran in. Um, and I remember uh, Lee had a lot of trouble with the choky gremlin choking him to death. Um, and Elzen was constantly surrounded by these shades, although he had sword bursts to kind of help with that to some degree. Um, Elzen attempted to use uh his special staff to throw some earth at the Bopstone to dislodge it, which he managed to do, but then we were not able to get to it in time, and one of the hags was able to pick it up and restore it to the ritual, and they began focusing on that once more. Um, and uh, at one point, Pebble decided to use his special move, uh, which was he raised his fingers in the air and then shot him right into the hag's butthole, uh, shocking her and himself because he did not realize that there would be a hard barrier between him
Yes.
and the butthole.
One might call it a plug.
Yeah.
Meant for protection, but
That that was then forced further into her butthole, causing her to lose concentration and use up a turn trying to fix it.
And then
That butt plug probably is going to become an artifact now that you'll encounter.
I can't wait. And then Pebble, I remember Pebble started bouncing into the barrier a couple of times before he was able to get through and get Shebop. As he was doing that, Elzen was overcome by the shades and killed. Kettle Steam was doing his best to support, but eventually and Lee went down as well. Kettle Steam
Right,
was
Lee
doing
went
his
down
best
at
to
one point.
support, but he he was also at being pretty badly besieged. So Pebble was running with Shebop trying to awaken her. While he was doing that, Lee managed to pop back up with a critical success on a death save. After I think failing 2 death saves, right? Maybe.
No, I
Oh,
I think I passed both of them.
oh, okay. Um,
Yeah, it was Elson who was failing death
Yeah.
saves.
oh yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
and then Pebble managed to wake Shebop finally, who then took control of the situation, dispelled the hags, and then Pebble realized that Elzen was dead. Shebop offered to provide a favor within her power, and so Pebble asked for Elzen to be restored to life, as well as the person who was about to be engaged asked for his life to be restored too. She said she'd get to it later. Um, not quite those words, but uh,
Yeah, she said
and
it was
then
not in her power to restore the other guy's life today, but she'd look into it when she could.
yeah, um, and then that's what I remember.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And that at that point, it was around then that Zoom failed when I tried to get out of the map view, the share screen.
Hmm.
But it kept recording for a while and we could hear one another. But then at some point, Zoom failed completely because everybody froze up on my screen. But the only thing that really happened after that was that I sent you in chat was that she told you that she had to reintegrate the dark version of the circus back into Eberron and that you should all just return back to Eberron and she'd meet you afterwards, which means you can meet up with Paelius again, who's probably coming to at coincidentally just around the same time as you come back through the mirror.
Right. I imagine Paelius is sitting on something that's nearby. Uh,
Right. Or
his hair is normally slicked back, and kept like sort of tight to his skull. But right now it's like forward, kind of in his face, a little bit. Um, those who are keen-eyed might glimpse a knot on his forehead, I suppose. And Paelius is definitely vain enough to want to cover it up.
how would you cover it up? Comb
With
forward the
Yeah, the hair is now kind of forward in the face. It's more like, but it looks fucking stylish though. So
So you are all in the Hall of Mirrors. It's still dark in here. Lee has his torch. You still see the odd reflections of yourself, all looking incredibly old around you.
well, how'd it go?
We won.
Great. Can we leave
We
now?
we beat the old people that were doing the singing thing.
and I woke up the one that was in the middle. I I forget her name, but then she brought Elsie back to life, which was cool. And she might bring the other guy back to life that died, which would be cool too, because then he could get married like he always wanted.
Is Kettlestein around?
Yeah, Kettlestein came back with them.
I just give them a nod. I don't say anything. They don't need to, they don't need to, they probably don't want too much recognition.
Yeah, Kettlestein starts to make her way back through the maze.
Okay, let's get out of here. I have a headache. I need a drink.
Oh yeah, and I forgot you discovered that the magical wine, the berry juice that you were drinking the night before, had a protection from evil like effect on everybody but Lee who didn't drink it, and Kettlestein who also hadn't had a drink of it.
Hmm.
But you make your way out of the Hall of Illusions. As you come back out, you see the human circus hand, Wop Babaloo, still sitting there. He is glaring at Kettlestein as Kettlestein walks off into the crowds. And he sees you come out. Well, at least you survived. That's a plus.
Of course we did.
Most people, we don't even let people go into the Hall of Illusions anymore because the mirrors obviously are dangerous.
Yeah, there was that one that broke and it made lots of glass and shards and they fell on me and that cut me pretty bad. But it's weird because the other person was able to walk right through.
I imagine that's gonna change again once. What's her name again? Shebop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shebop.
Once this Shebop does her fix for the place.
If she comes back,
She sounds like they saved her.
really.
Yeah.
I thought that was bullshit.
No, no, we woke her up. She was sleeping. It was a really heavy sleep too, because I really I took her and I'm like, "Hey, wake up!" And she was like,
When did she say when she's going to come back? He appears to be a little more animated now that he's heard this.
He thought she had something to do.
Lee walks up to him and puts his hand on his shoulder and coughs a couple times and blood spittle gets on him. He said, "Soon. She'll be doing it soon." Nope, sorry about that.
Lee, my
Yeah,
friend, it
and you
looks like
just start
you
smearing
need a
it.
drink too.
Smearing it on. No, that's not helping.
Lee, my friend, it looks like you need a drink too. I just look like, where can we get a stiff drink around here?
You mean alcohol?
Yeah.
We don't. Shebop doesn't allow us to serve alcohol.
I understand you're not allowed to serve alcohol.
I mean, I am sure some of the circus hands have alcohol in their quarters, but everybody's working right now.
Celebration is in order.
The Pixie Kingdom has some spirits and wine.
Pixie Kingdom?
Yeah, that's one of the attractions you guys never went to.
You don't say.
Yeah, I wonder where that clown is. He seemed like he was really worried about us. We should go tell him we're okay.
Lee reaches into his pouch and pulls out his ticket. It's got blood on it. Looks like I still got some punches left. We should probably go there.
I haven't even used any of mine.
I don't think I know where mine went.
I can spot you, Pebble. We should all go. And Lee reaches into his sack and pulls out the head of the gleam shadow and looks at it. Sounds like a good idea. Puts it back
Uh,
in the sack.
yeah. Wapabaloo recoils a bit at seeing what looks like a humanoid head, albeit a dark humanoid head. And he says that looks a lot like Gleam. Did you decapitate Gleam?
Well, if you mean removed its head, I guess that's true.
How long has it been sitting in your bag?
Not long. Why,
It
does it
looks
smell?
it looks rotted. It's black.
Oh, yeah. It'll be all right.
When
Uh,
when Kurt asked, "Did you decapitate Gleam?" I thought you were gonna say just a little bit.
Do you know this Gleam?
yes, she was one of the acrobats, her and her brother. She left the circus like a month or two ago.
Hmm, that's too bad.
Perhaps enthralled. What happened here? Was I present for this?
Were you present for what?
This beheading of this person?
No, this happened during the fight.
Okay. Perhaps enthralled by the hags.
Right. I mean,
I,
you would recognize because the it's wearing like an odd sort of moon-shaped mask encircling its face. You would recognize that it was the shadow creature that attacked you when you were in the Hall of Illusions the first time.
Hmm,
But are you going to the Pixie Kingdom?
of course.
yeah, I am.
So
I'm
you
gonna
check
go
your
wherever those guys are going.
so you check your map. The Pixie Kingdom is essentially right across from the Hall of Illusions, probably the closest of the attractions. And as you make your way over, you see there is a little cordoned off section, and there is a pixie hovering at what appears to be the entrance.
I'm told you have spirits here.
We have all kinds of things here.
Ones that we can drink and make merry, if you will.
Yes, you can. If you are willing to get your tickets punched to come in and abide by the rules of the Pixie Kingdom, you can enjoy spirits to your heart's content.
What are the rules?
Well, the rules are while you're here, you have to keep your fairy wings on. And I see some of you are not wearing your fairy wings. And you've got to adopt a pixie name that you will be known by while you are in the Pixie Kingdom. And we will shrink you down to the size of a pixie because everything in the Pixie Kingdom is pixie sized.
Ah.
So are you ready to get your pixie names?
Yeah. Do we pick a pixie name or do you choose them for us?
I give you the pixie name.
Okay. I'm ready.
Your name is Jellybean Starfish. And he points to Paelius and says, your name is Bright Night. And he points to Lee and says, your name is Puddle Mud. And Elzin is deemed Cobweb.
Oh, is this a night spelled with a K?
Uh, oh, I didn't think about how it would be spelled in common. but I was thinking more like NITE.
Okay.
What's Lee's name again?
Puddle mud.
Lee's name is
Right.
Puddle Mud
Oh, and then
in
what's Bailey?
honor of the 90s grunge band.
I was hoping.
I was afraid of that.
that.
You're making me not want to go in there.
What was Peleus's?
Bright Night.
Bright Night.
Bright Night.
And Pebbles is what again?
Pebbles is
Something
jelly
weird.
Jelly
bean.
bean starfish.
Jelly bean starfish.
And then he reaches into a box that he's sitting on and pulls out 4 thimble-sized potions. This is to shrink you down. The effect lasts an hour. You'll be pixie-sized, and all of our attractions will be exactly the right size for you then, because if you were this size, you would trample them all.
Who wouldn't want that?
Also, we don't have enough spirits for people of your size. You would drink us dry.
That's using the old noggin.
Pebble immediately drinks the potion.
Bottoms up.
And
Yeah.
Pebble shrinks down to about 4 inches tall.
Amazing.
So you all keep your relative sizes, but you're converted to inches rather than feet.
Okay.
And as you cross the cordon into the Pixie Kingdom, you immediately are hit by the smell of flower blossoms and blackberry wine that just seemed to permeate the air, but you couldn't really sense when you were outside of it. Inside, you see there is what for you now looks like a normal size Ferris wheel. There is a regular and so giant to you sized pug who is running around with a little saddle on his back that people seem to be riding. And the pixie says, "My name is Jeremy Plum, and the pug is Pinecone. If you want to ride Pinecone, you have to wait for him to calm down a little bit because we can't always just make him let people off the ride."
I can't wait to ride Pinecone.
Go have fun.
If you're looking for spirits, I would head over to there is a little hall at the north end of the Pixie Kingdom, and
Oh,
there
I
you
get it
can.
little. Yeah.
It is made of spider silk, so you go inside and you can eat and drink to your heart's content while you're here. You will be asked to leave before you grow back to normal size because you'll destroy the whole hall.
This is fair. Hopefully you notice it. Well,
If you want to
Have-
extend your stay, you can just come back here and I'll have to punch your tickets again. But I can give you a second potion.
have fun there, Jelly Bean. I'm going to have a drink.
I'm right there
Okay.
with you.
Pebble then begins chasing the dog around.
Right. So the
I'm sure that it's not exactly what the guy would like to happen.
yeah, so the dog is substantially bigger than you at the moment because you're 4 inches and this dog is essentially like 14 inches high. So much bigger than you and running much faster than you can run. So you'll have to slide on your
Okay.
belly to really keep up with him.
And even then,
Uh,
just barely.
Right. But eventually the pug begins to notice that he's being followed. And you see because of his neck, he almost has to turn most of his body around, but he's running off and then turning around and barking. And the people on the ride look increasingly dizzy and perhaps a little motion sick.
Oh my
It's
God.
okay, everyone. I'm an employee.
Mm, sure.
Pebble's going to kill somebody.
And you guys make your way to the spiderweb hall, the cobweb hall. It does appear to indeed be woven out of spider silk. Almost looks like a series of little fair tents that have been woven together, all made out of spider silk. And there are various entrances, and you can see that there are a number of people inside sitting at little round tables as pixies fly all around them, delivering drinks and food. One of the pixies comes over to you.
Drink, please.
Make that
Well,
2.
Oh, yeah.
what would you like to drink?
Whatever you got.
Strongest you got.
So she flies off. And at first, she comes back with something that she considers very strong, and it is indeed flavorful, but it's non-alcoholic. So you correct her as to what you mean by strong.
Yep.
And she flies off and comes back again with glasses of a clear liquor, as well as a bottle of thimbleberry wine.
Perfect.
I drink from the bottle.
What do you have to eat?
We have various sorts of berry tarts, or there are the various edible flowers we
One
can
of
bring you.
each.
I
Okay.
like what you're thinking there, Puddle.
So she also brings back a tray that's probably no bigger than like 2 inches across, but it's 2 feet across from your perspective. So she sets it down. It is covered in enormous size, regular size, basically berries, and then tiny versions of fruits, as well as a mound of tarts and danishes in the center.
Alrighty. Bunch of sweets. It'll have to do for now. Gonna make this drink very interesting, though.
So how much do you want to drink? They will bring you as much as you want for the hour.
Um,
Just wondering if you're looking to get blasted, your tolerance is super low because of your size. So you could do it.
yeah, I was actually curious. I'm not like, I'm not holding back, but yeah, I'm also a small person, so
Do we instantly sober up after an hour?
yeah, that's what I was curious. Like, what?
No, so yeah, we'll do a little more before the hour passes, uh
Yeah.
but yeah, so if you're just drinking in a normal pace, like I was wondering if you were trying purposefully to get drunk,
No,
which you could
no.
do. But if you're just
I,
drinking at a normal pace, then you're fine for the hour. But
I'm a
meanwhile,
fast drinker, but so I'll get tipsy probably at least.
you begin to notice an increasing amount of barking and a commotion outside as some people are forced to run out of the way of Pinecone the pug, as Pinecone is no longer on his normal little circular track, but is running in random directions to escape the tiny sliding creature that it has never seen the likes of before.
I drink
And
to that.
Pebble, as you chase the dog, probably convince the dog. It does seem like the dog is playing, but uh, he is. There are like little stands and other things going on, and people are diving out of the way as the pug comes running around, as he is much more familiar with like the pixies and other humanoids, and so is unafraid of them. He does seem like he's a little wary, a little unsure of what you are. Uh, but you see there are 3 pixies flying in your direction, telling you to stop this right now.
I, 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 I just play with Pinecone. Yeah, I'm sorry if I was doing a good job.
And what is your name?
I'm Pebble. No, I'm Starry Jelly. Starry Jelly. I think that's it. Yeah.
Pebble is such a majestic name. I've never heard Jelly Jelly before. Are you here by yourself?
No, I got some good friends over in the other place where they're getting some drinks.
Well, if you would like to ride Pinecone, then as soon as Pinecone calms down, and you see Pinecone is still facing you and is jumping in circles, one of the passengers on his back comes flying out and lands on the ground with a groan.
Oh, that looked fun.
Pinecone is still barking, trying to get you to chase him again, runs off for a little bit and turns and waits to see if you're chasing him. And the pixies ask if you would like to go find your friends.
I I wanted to ride on Pinecone.
One of the pixies sighs and flies over to Pinecone. And you could see she begins to like rub her hands on his nose, and he seems to calm down and sits. She looks at you and says, "Very well. It's you can get into the saddle now." And a bunch of other people come stumbling off.
Hey, I wonder if it's gonna be as cool as riding that elephant.
Proportionally speaking, Pinecone, it seems like he's probably bigger than the elephant was, but no trunk.
Yeah. So, pluses, minuses.
Right. So
Special
you
in
get
its own
in,
way.
and Pinecone takes off running again. Pinecone is also much faster proportionately than the elephant. So you feel the wind in your feathers as Pinecone goes running around this course that's cordoned off. Like there's a little, almost like a race track, but it's carved into flower beds on either side.
I feel like with the speed, it's almost like Pebble is like back all the way, like the wind causing his face to flatten. And he's like, "This is awesome!"
So you are off riding Pinecone. Eventually, the hour is up, and you can all feel yourselves. Like there's a definite feeling to this potion wearing off. You're not growing yet, but you can tell that your perspective is starting to change, and you feel like you're going to start growing any second. As people look at you, they can see the just waves of magic begin to flow through your skin as the potion's wearing off. And the pixies come over, fly over, and ask you to please step outside the pixie kingdom or to take a second potion.
Like, I just looked at Puddle. More?
Why not?
All right. We'll go for another hour.
Sure.
And a pixie also flies up to Jellybean Starfish and says that you're going to have to get off of Pinecone, or else you'll hurt him when you grow to normal size.
Oh, I don't want to do that. Can't can I? Is there any way I could stay just a little bit longer?
You can always get another potion from Jeremy Plum.
Okay, I'm gonna go do that.
So you all go back and get another potion. You continue your drinking and eating. Pinecone, a couple of times they do stop Pinecone and get him to sit so that other people can get on with you and experience the ride.
Did she give you an idea as to how long she was going to take?
No, she did. She didn't actually mention.
I don't know.
She just said to wait for her in the circus.
We're in the circus. We're waiting.
Well, hopefully she knows to look here. We are off the small.
After a while, Pebble will meander over to find Puddle Mud and Bright Night and be like,
"Guys, that was so much fun. There was this giant dog, and he was running around, and then I was chasing him, but then they asked me to stop chasing him, but then they let me ride him. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
How old are you?
Um, and I am
He's old enough to know what fun is all about.
that can't be right.
I'm just like, perhaps you're right. Here,
I,
want a
on
drink?
my character sheet, it says I'm 94 years old.
I mean, how long do
Pengel live?
pangolins? Yeah, I think it's like 150 years, so that might be right. But this is like a homebrew race that Mike came up with, so I guess it's whatever Mike says.
94 sounds right. Because that makes it even better that he's been around 94 years. This is how he turned out.
I like
I'm like, hey, you want some something to drink?
I like to think that Lee says, "I'm 3." As I think
uh,
that's around his age.
7.
I'll have something to drink.
Like wine?
Um, what's that?
It's
Just
this.
pass him the bottle.
Yeah, here you go. Have a sip. It's like juice.
Playing put D&D Mannix. Look, it's another kid. Yeah.
Good night, kiddo.
So what does Jellybean Starfish think of alcohol?
It tastes like it's a little, a little fermented, which isn't bad. I like it.
Drink up.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out here until hopefully she will find us here.
Okay.
So you continue to eat and drink. Before the second hour ends, you hear a booming voice outside. And going outside, you see there is Burley still wearing his giant pumpkin mask, leaning over the Pixie Kingdom, looming like a giant as he yells out for your group.
Oh, there she is.
Be right. That's Burley. What are you talking about?
Or yeah, well, I mean, I assume she's come out. That's why he's here. All right, one more drink before we go.
Yeah. Do we want to stay here another hour? I got more punches to ticket.
Well, I mean, it seems like they want us.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I mean, after a minute or two of looking around, you guys are inside this tent, so we can't see you directly. But he wanders off. He tells you he does yell that if you're in here, he wants that Shebop wants you to come to the big top.
Oh well, it is. It is the big. It is the one true bop. So we better bop on
How,
over.
how long do we have left in this hour?
Like another 20 minutes.
Oh, well, let's
I
not
mean,
waste it.
Yeah.
I
Right.
feel kind of sleepy.
Burley clearly doesn't, he's not sure you're in here, so he's probably wandering off to other attractions to try to figure out
Oh,
where you are.
even better. Well,
And the
I'll
pix
listen. I will listen if I hear him yelling in the distance, like far away.
you do eventually hear him yelling.
It's getting colder, colder.
Outside
also,
just hears
Yeah, it's just like an insect noise buzzing to him. So does Jellybean only drink the wine, or is she going to have some of the harder stuff too? Or he going to
Sure
have
she is.
uh he's getting sleepy on the wine.
Make sure to eat. Don't drink wine on an empty stomach.
Okay. Okay. I'll, I'll, uh,
I said don't forget to eat.
So if we have bottles, I guess the glasses of drinks.
Yeah, they brought you glasses as well, or cups rather.
So Pebble Jelly, if we put our glasses on your chest, does the glass get cold?
yeah. Yes, I am.
Yeah, I put the glass on his
I
chest.
need to roll him over and push him out of here.
And it does, because it's just a big, it's like an inch thick sheet of ice on his chest.
Oh, even better. Oh yeah. Nice. This is
Frosty mugs.
yes, frosty mugs.
Does he like Lee
This
with a dagger chipping ice off into his glass? I mean, you might try that. Then you remember this is the side he slides on.
Yeah, we don't want to take away from his fun.
we're gonna need to
I
slide
mean,
him out of here if he's still asleep and we go to get bigger.
Oh, well. He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
so you continue eating and drinking. The 20 minutes passes, and you can feel again the telltale signs
Oh.
of the potion wearing off.
Ooh.
And again, your server comes over and asks you to step outside or go back to Jeremy and get another potion.
We'll leave. Don't worry about it. But we gotta get him
Oh.
out of here. We can put him on his stomach.
Oh, yeah. How well does he slide on the stomach?
That's how he always slides, right?
Could tie a rope
Uh,
to him.
I mean, is there a good hill we can push him down?
Oh.
I know he'd
I
love
mean,
that.
right. So the Ferris wheel is up on a hill. It's raised up over the rest of the Pixie Kingdom.
Oh, but it's like a tiny Ferris wheel though.
I mean, from your perspective, right now it's a normal
Well,
size Ferris wheel.
sh-
But
sure,
yes,
tiny like us. Yeah.
right. But it was only like 5 feet tall total.
Hmm. That's as tall as I am. Whenever I'm not tiny like this.
Right.
That's a
So,
big fucking Ferris wheel. Holy shit! Whenever you're that
right,
small.
right. So, but from your perspective, it's like 50 feet tall.
Well, yeah. I mean, would just the quickest way out of here. Just give him a good push, I think, down the
Mm.
road so that he's outside of the range.
Right.
So you push him. All right. Are you pushing him with your hands or just like a boot on his ass?
Whatever's easier. I don't. I imagine hands. Like a shove, like a good shove. I'm not very strong though, so you'll rely on the
So,
ice.
so you have to shove him a good distance across the Pixie Kingdom because the little feasting hall was in the northern part. Uh, but you push him out beyond the bounds of the enclosure around it. Jeremy Plum nods at you. There's a little waiting area just outside the Pixie Kingdom that you can stand in, waiting for the potion to wear off, so that you're not, getting trampled in the normal circus as you wander around Tiny.
As we pass him up, we might come back.
Very good. You're always welcome. Remember your pixie
Oh,
names.
I will never
Of
forget
course.
my pixie name, Jeremy. I give him a
Uh,
big hug. I'm almost going to start crying.
he, he hugs you back, and you return to normal size.
Had the strangest dream.
Yeah, how's the drunkenness?
You notice that the drunkenness appears to have sustained even after you've grown back to normal size. You're still feeling it.
Oh,
Just
that's a
get big.
relief.
I'm like, this is the best. This should happen more often. We could save so much. Well, we would save so much alcohol, but we would probably not save a whole lot of
Well,
money
let's
on the
figure out what
shrinking
this
potion.
Bob wants, and we've got punches of tickets, and we can go back inside.
Let's do this. Yeah, we should probably tie a rope to him. We'll just drag him
Right.
along. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Pebble feels himself start to rouse again as he's being dragged through the circus. Hello. But you make your way over to the big top and inside. You see there is a crowd there. In fact, there are lines of people waiting to get in. But one of the circus hands sees you coming, and
Thank you.
ushers.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
The circus hand ushers the four of you to the front of the line, including Elzin. Elzin seems distracted. I am not sure if he's. We'll have to ask Dustin. He might be troubled by the fact that he died and had to come back.
Yeah, he just needs to have a drink about it. It's fine.
Right.
He might be muttering that he was feeling himself being pulled into Dollar, the afterlife.
No, that's fine. You were fine. You were just asleep for a little bit. So was I, apparently.
Mm.
I don't know where that. So these circuses, you never trust them. They're always shady.
I don't know. I'm beginning to like this one.
Yeah, as long as no more rakes suddenly appear out of nowhere.
Oh, wraiths are very dangerous. Oh, you said rake. Ooh, I wouldn't bring that up.
So the circus hand ushers you to the front of the line and then through. And rather than escorting you into the stands, they take you to the center of the big
Of
top
course, yes.
where you see they're standing there in a spotlight is Shebop, and then flanking her on both sides are Cadfile and Cadfay. And Pebble, you're conscious enough to hear Cadfay say, "And now, everyone, it is time to pick the kings and queens of the circus."
Oh, oh, ow! I can't. I'm so sorry. I, I'm awake. I'm awake. Ah, Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? I'm so curious.
And Shebop pulls you all into the light and says, "I'm afraid the rules are the rules, and there can only be one king or queen of the circus. Seems there will be a king this time. Which of you would you like to have that honor?"
Instantly look at Pebble.
I'm like the light.
Pebble is like looking at each of you like,
It's obviously Pebble.
And
If you don't pick him, he'll be heartbroken.
We are just mere servants in his court.
very
then-
well then.
Ah.
And she begins to like look at the different sections of the crowd as she turns around and says, "These brave adventurers rescued me from a very dangerous peril, a peril that has been keeping you all here far longer than you might realize. But the danger is now lifted, thanks to these four adventurers and Kettlesteam, who I do not see here, but I will find separately. They are missing a friend of theirs, but I am going to venture back into the wilderness to find her. Thalanis will not hold your friend long," she says, looking back at you. "But the king of the circus for this night, this nearly endless night, is Pebble." And she gestures over to Pebble. And Cadfay and Cadfile go over to a little box and open it up and pull out a crown. The crown is approximately like ogre sized. But as they go to place it on Pebble's head, it shrinks down to fit Pebble's head. And as it goes on, you see the sparkliness that still continues from your first uh, few hours here in the circus intensifies greatly. And you see there is a ring of circus hands standing around the outside of the big top. Everyone begins to applaud for Pebble. The circus hands all bow. Shebop, Cadfile, and Cadfay also bow to Pebble.
Now on wide awake and acting on pure adrenaline, he begins sliding on his belly in a lap and then starts like doing somersaults and flips and jumps into the air.
The spotlight does its best to keep up with you. And the crowd is absolutely thrilled that you seem to be one of the performers. In fact, give me an acrobatics check just to see how well you do. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's incredibly entertaining for the crowd. Shebop smiles broadly, seeing this. You see Burley in the corner who mouths to you that, yeah, you could definitely be a performer if you want to. If you want to give up this adventuring lifestyle.
I don't know. Pebble has literally just had the best couple of days of his life. He got to ride an elephant. He got to save some people. He got to ride a giant dog. He's crowned king of the circus. He got to ride in a bubble.
Pebble's going to be so bored when we have to trek across the continent. It takes weeks or whatever.
And
So
then
much-
at that, go ahead. What were you gonna
So
say?
much action packed right in the first few days of even meeting us. Just
So,
waiting for him to fucking crash.
Shebop raises her hand and the spotlight moves back to her. And she announces that the performances in the Big Top will now resume. And she leads you all over to a special box down at the lower level in the center of the Big Top, in the stands off to the side, but otherwise in the middle of the tent, uh, where there are very fancy chairs waiting so that you can watch the circus. And the lights go up in the circus again, and you see again there are acts in the three different rings as acrobats begin to perform on the high wires overhead, occasionally jumping down into a large net, bouncing back up and landing back on the wires.
I could do that.
Pebble could with the 24. He could learn this.
I
A high wire penguin.
was like look around for somebody like can we get service in this booth?
It
We get
doesn't appear as though there are people who are like eating snacks, but it seems as though they brought them in with them.
wonder
And
how long this is gonna be.
Burley comes over and says, after the main performance, Shebop would like to see you in the staff area. Just go through the back exit there. The circus hands can show you to the outer door.
So during the performance, Lee would look around. I'm gonna guess that there's probably some seat. It's like stadium
Yeah,
seating. So there's probably a seat or two that is obstructed by a pole or something.
So not it is better designed than that. There are poles in the center of the tent, three main poles in the center of the room. Then
Okay.
the other poles ring the outside of the tent and so are behind the stands. Your sight line of sight could be blocked if somebody is doing something and it happens to be beyond one of the three center poles. But then there are
Okay.
always attractions in the other areas and the acrobats overhead.
But our seat, we can see everything really good.
Right.
So
So they're off to the side. One of the three acts is Manticore Tamer. So sometimes he will pass like beyond the pole and he'll be obscured temporarily. But clearly the acts all understand this and continually move around so that it usually is only a couple seconds where you can't see. You can always see the manticores. The poles aren't broad enough to stop you from seeing something the size of these two manticores.
yeah, Lee would look behind him to see, would look for somebody who's maybe they're in the very back and obscured by somebody who's like bigger than them. So they're constantly like looking over and they can't see. And he
Sure.
would walk back there and say, "Come with me," and take them out of their seat and put whoever it is in his seat and kind of like sit behind him or sit next to him.
So you take this person. You there's a woman who is sitting behind an incredibly tall man, who keeps sort of leaning up and over his shoulder, and you pull her down and put her in the seat next to you.
Have a seat
Uh,
here. This you can see much better without anyone in the way.
Thank you. This is a special box. Are you sure I'm allowed to sit here?
Yes, yeah, of course you
The,
are.
the king says it's okay.
The king, yeah. Look,
What if Pebble was like, "No, be gone."
Pebble is just too
Power.
entranced with the axe to even notice anything that's being said.
Pebble gets the smallest taste of power and goes mad.
yeah.
So she is smiling brightly as she sits there watching the act. And about an hour passes and the acts wind down. And Cadfay appears in the center again and tells everyone that the next act will be in 4 hours, but that there will always be attractions running in the center rings. So feel free to stay in your seats if you wish. And Burley comes over to you and asks you to follow him back to the staff area as Shebop wants to reward you properly.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
enjoy the rest of
Mike,
the show.
right. And Mike, so that you're aware, the crown that you're wearing, in addition to giving you advantage on charisma checks with circus people, uh, it you can use it to cast fairy fire once a day.
Hey, I can do that.
So I get to keep it?
Yep. I mean, normally they would actually take it back, but this is just part of the reward for saving Shebop is they're going to let you keep the crown.
Pebble will always be king.
What was that? What was that?
I said, it's a cool crown.
Really?
Go, Jelly Star.
So you follow Burley back into the staff area, and Shebop and a number of the circus hands are waiting there for you. And as you watch, Shebop is holding both clearly magical rod that Cadfe previously had, and then a glowing golden watch. And she brings them together and begins to chant. And a beam of light shoots up into the sky, and you see the sky still somewhat overcast, and occasionally you see lightning shooting amongst the clouds. But immediately it fades away, almost as if it was just an illusion, and you see a brightly lit night sky overhead with
Oh,
four of Eberron's moons hanging there, which makes it unusually bright for Eberron. And you recall that there were four moons in the sky when you first arrived and almost got hit by the lightning rail. And Shebop looks at you and says, "So far, I've been unable to find your friend, and I suspect my relative Mbop. But I'm going to go back to Thelanis and continue looking, as I said to the crowd. She will be saved. I'll need to keep the Bobstone to find her, however, and I'll return it to her once I do find her. I fear she may have been carried off to hither, in which case she may still be in some danger. But the enchantment that was holding people here has now been undone. You are free to come and go, as is everyone, as they may wish." And Burley comes out again, out of one of the caravan carts, uh, and he's holding a fairly large strong box that he sets down in front of you. And he opens it up, and inside there are, where's my list? I had it somewhere. She puts around your neck these silver and quartz pendants that are, the silver filigree on it is fairly elaborate. She tells you that they identify you all as friends of House Bob. So to the extent that you wind up engaging with anyone from House Bob, they will recognize this. And as long as you're wearing them, if you encounter the circus again, you'll be able to get in for free without buying a ticket, and no longer need a ticket to attend the attractions or play the games. Also in the box, there's 400 gold pieces. Although you notice that the style of the gold piece is different than the gold that you have, as the gold that you have is all from the distant future, where they had begun minting their own coins. So these are proper Galifars, the coin of Corvair. There's also 8 gemstones worth 10 gold pieces each that I will just list. Let me just copy the whole thing. And she gifts each of you a potion of greater healing. So you can decide how you want to divide up the gems.
so it does. So everybody gets one of the necklaces of House Bop. It not like maybe. So they didn't exclude one person, and then we have to spend the entire campaign figuring out why it didn't happen.
No, she's giving you four of them for the 4 party members who are here. And she promises Bob probably doesn't need one because of she'll have the Bopstone, which is even more important of a symbol for her house. but she says she'll be appropriately rewarded too.
Hmm. So there's four of us, right? With
Yep.
Elzen.
Right.
So that's 100 gold pieces apiece.
Yep.
It's 2 gemstones apiece.
Right.
I want the obsidian.
Could probably divide them up now or we'll lose track of them.
I think I want the obsidian and the malachite.
Which two do Lee want?
Okay. Sorry, I was just putting it in there. So, uh, let's see. I'll do the blue quartz. And uh, the banded agate.
I'll do the lapis lazuli and the radcrosite.
Good. See. Let's leave that so I remember what Elzen got. Elzen got the 2 eye ones. So as you pick through the chest, Shebop says, I can't thank you enough. You've made an ally of me and all of my house. I again am going to find Mbop. In fact, I'll be leaving imminently now that, frankly, there is no threat anymore to the circus. You killed the agents of the hags, so there's no reason to suspect there will be any retribution from them. And the hags will think twice before coming back after after this circus. Although I may yet encounter them and have to deal with them while I look for Mbop.
Well, good luck
I
with
hope you
that.
find her. She was nice.
I pray that she's okay, but I will do my best to return her to you. Is there a way for her to find you?
I forget whether because we had the earrings, right? Is there a range on those?
So it's not an earring. It is a
Or
shard, a Sybaris shard that's embedded in the back of your neck. So it's
right, that's
under
what it
your
was.
skin.
Right.
And they do allow you to sense one another. No one ever mentioned there being a range.
Hmm. Can we?
I would say you all would have noticed that you stopped. And it's not exactly like directional necessarily. Like you could tell, you could, those of you who were in Thelanis could feel it when Elzen died through this crystal. Although it's the first time you experience that, you now understand what the sort of weird, almost electrical feeling that passed through this stone was. It was Elzin dying. But as you passed into Thelanis, you would have also noticed that there was a change when Paelius was on a different plane than you. Paelius unconscious didn't notice this, but the rest of you did notice a change in the feeling coming from the crystal.
Hmm. Then we don't have like a sense of that for Bob.
No, actually, I guess you would have noticed Mbop's the sensation of feeling Mbop when you were in Thelanis. But you don't have enough experience yet to figure out if you could have determined like distance. And there's nothing, you haven't noticed anything that would let you think about direction. There does seem to be some sort of sense of like strength and proximity.
We'll have to
Well,
experiment with having
whenever she
some.
gets back to Eberron,
We
she
will
just
know. Yeah,
needs to listen
hopefully.
and sense hope on the air, and she knows that's where we are.
Right. After Black Pit, you were told to go uh, back to Sharn or Sharn in this time. And you were given a contact person at Morgrave University to go and find. So she at least knows that much.
That too.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, yeah. Let's. Bye. Uh, we'll. Let's tell Shebob where roughly to send her whenever if she finds her. Like the direction. Hopefully, she has an idea as to the direction we need to go, and she can help us there. I don't even know. Do we have like
So
know
you're
where we are on the map?
it had been mentioned that the city you saw in the distance was Passage.
Hmm.
So you guys could decide how well you know the map of Corvair and where, like you knew vaguely what time frame you were coming to. So it's essentially next to Lake Galifar, but you certainly have no like firsthand knowledge of Passage, the city. But yeah, if you tell her where you need to go, she can explain to you how to get there. So are you telling her? So obviously Lisa probably won't be back for the your mission to Black Pit. But are you telling
So
Shebop that you need to get to Black Pit?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I heard about we could come and go and do all the rides for free at the circus now. Slow down.
Right. This is the GM wondering what you're being told about how to find her. But you are definitely free to remain in the circus for as long as you want, though now that the enchantment that's protecting it is gone, it is going to become daylight and the circus will close down for several hours so the performers can finally rest after this endless night where they've been working
Ooh,
constantly and
well,
getting no overtime.
you need to talk to they need to talk to the king first and see if they can rest, take a break, see what he wants. He may demand that they continue to perform.
I mean, I'm sure we can still get a few drinks in.
I hope so.
Um, yeah, I actually don't know where we are on the map, so
Oh, I can show you where you are. Switch over. You are here. Oh, that's the
oh
wrong
yeah,
map.
okay.
And Black Pit is down here.
Oh, okay. It's actually named. All right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you imagine that, I mean, to the extent that you just want information, probably many of the people here, not just Shebop, but probably everyone has somewhat more information about Passage and Black Pit than you would have. Although Black Pit is a little bit obscure. Black Pit is on this map because it's an interesting place, but it's like, the fact that Mordain, the Flesh Weaver's Keep, is labeled on this place. I like to think
Hey.
Mordain, the Flesh Weaver, is in the phone book.
If I find out who's pranking me,
Oh,
I don't
for
know
all
who
your
this Dick Hurts from Holden is.
but if you need some flesh weaving, I got you. Best price in town.
Mordain and Flesh Weaver constantly like, is there a huge ass here? Huge, huge ass.
Bill McCracken.
Michael Hunt, is there a Mike Hunt here? I'm looking for Mike Hunt.
Yes, my refrigerator is running.
If I ever find you, I am going to weave your flesh so hard.
Whoa, you can't just say that.
It's funny because when I was in college, somebody said that it was so funny when my name would be called on attendance because they were like, Mike Hawkins. So now whenever I introduce my full name, it's Michael Hawkins.
Yeah, that would be. I can imagine. So
I
you
think
spend several hours. You can go to whatever attractions or rides or games you want, including back to the Pixie Kingdom.
Oh yeah, that's
I
where I'll
would
be going.
talk
Or
to
there's the face painter and the tattoo artist.
tattoos. They permanent?
No, they're temporary tattoos.
Oh, that's right.
Can we get permanent ones?
Uh, Not from Tinnement.
Dang.
I mean, he would tell you can get permanent ones in Passage easily enough. Although he would not necessarily know how to tattoo either Pebble or Lee because of the feathers.
Why? But Pebble has a tattoo.
Right. You have the
Is it a
temporary
tramp stamp?
tattoo that is on that has been drawn on top of your feathers,
Oh, right, yes.
but like a permanent one. Like he just assumes you probably like molt at some point. The feathers are replaced.
Preening.
Yeah.
And
I
then you
think
wouldn't want to get like a spot shaved.
Yeah, sorry guys. I was thinking of bubbles. What are we doing now?
tell me, King. We are just your loyal servants.
Oh, I thought we were friends.
Well, we are.
Well, this
Friends.
friend is going for a few more drinks.
Oh, we're gonna stay here for some more? That's cool.
What time is it? How long has it been? Have we slept? What's going on?
You have slept. You slept before you went into Thalanis. You just slept underneath the trees in the feasting area,
Right.
where many people were sleeping, and it was night when you went to sleep, and it was still night when you woke up. As near as you can tell, it is actually probably around midnight now that the protection is lifted.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, a few more drinks, and let's get some sleep, and then, well,
Yeah.
then we'll head out. I mean, I can go now, but not everybody
Mm.
is as keen on the night as I am.
What? I was thinking about bubbles, so I think that's the time I gotta go ride some more bubbles.
Well, you can do that all you want with that amulet, apparently.
Well,
I'm the
and the
king.
crown. They're not going to stop the
Well,
king.
sure. Have fun.
And he goes and runs off.
So you run back to the teapot. You discover that being the king, you don't have to wait in the line.
Oh,
And so they
cool.
they immediately put you into one of the bubbles and you start hovering again over the circus, drifting randomly, this time to the south, where you can see the snail races.
And just like last time, you hear the the joyous screams of Pebble as he flies above the circus.
So
Lee is
you
going.
also see another attraction that you never got to. There is what appears to be like a little roller coaster like ride that goes through the inside of a giant imitation dragon. That's on the map. It's the Mystery Mine.
Hmm.
There was also a giant lollipop like structure at the southern end between the snail races and the Mystery Mine. You're not sure what that is.
That dragon seems scary. I'm gonna stay away from it.
And Paelius goes back to the Pixie Kingdom, the only place to get spirits in this place. What's Lee doing?
I would catch Shebop before she departs and say, I have something that I probably should dispose of. And I reach into the sack and pull out the head of Gleam Shadow. Uh, my haste, I brought it with me, but I think I probably should dispose of it somehow, or at least you
And
would know a way to do that.
yes, I can take care of it. This isn't Gleam's head, so that you're aware. I don't know exactly what happened, but this probably Gleam sold her shadow to one of the hags who made it physically real. It is the spitting image of her.
So Gleam is still alive then?
That I can't say, but it's easy enough for these hags to separate one shadow from the person and then command it like they would any other one of their minions.
Oh, well,
Usually they have to give up something to get it. I don't know what she would have sold her shadow for. Actually, I'm quite surprised that she would do that because she would know better than to sell her shadow to a hag and know that her shadow would become a dangerous creature if she did.
yeah,
Hopefully she and
that's,
her brother are still fine though. They
I
might
hope
be
so
in
too.
they might be in Thalanis as that's where they originally hailed from.
That's too bad. Well, I appreciate you helping us and saving my friend Elzen, and I need to go and make amends. And Lee will turn and leave and head to the swan rides and find the swan that he got irritated with to apologize.
So it takes a little bit of time because there's a number of swans that all essentially pull up to the same dock and then sail around the thing. But eventually you're pretty sure you find the one. I don't know if would Lee remember the swan's name when it introduced itself?
Uh, I wonder if I, Mr. Reuben.
Right. It
I'm sorry,
wasn't
but is is Lee an alcoholic?
Why?
Because he was so grumpy until he had a couple of drinks. And now we got did he get rid of the shakes?
maybe Lee is now. Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
So it was much longer ago for you, Peter, the player, than it was for Lee. But she introduced herself as Featherine.
Feathering. Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, the swan. I have it down here in my notes. Yeah. Feathering. Okay.
and then she started talking about the nature of time, and you got annoyed and flew away. And
Yes, yes.
Elzen had to have the conversation with her.
So
But she,
Feathering,
yes, I remember you.
I want to apologize for how I behaved.
That's
I
quite
didn't
all
un
right.
I
Your
didn't understand
friend,
the true nature of this circus, but I think I understand it now.
that's good to hear. I don't think many people who come here truly understand the circus. Elzen, meanwhile, has wandered off on his own. You're not sure what he's doing, but he's not with any of you. And Featherine says that she hopes she gets to see him again before you all leave, as she greatly enjoyed her conversation with him. But you'll have to forgive me. I have to pick up my next set of passengers and sail them around the circus, especially now that time is moving again. They'll get tired much more quickly and all want to leave.
Okay. Well, I'll wait here.
So it takes about an hour to sail around the whole circus at the rate the swans go. But
Okay.
she comes back an hour later and lets off her passengers.
Oh, good. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, if you care to take a ride, we can discuss.
Of course I do. That's what I've been waiting here for.
So what do you believe to be the nature of a person? What makes you you rather than someone else?
That's a good topic. You talking in the true sense or in the metaphysical sense?
I tend to think those are one and the same.
Are they?
My own personal opinion is that who I am as a swan is uniquely tied to my memories. But there is a school of thought that says that even absent my memories, if my mind were wiped completely, that I would still be the same person. But I'm not certain that that is correct because without my memories, I might react to things very differently. I might develop an entirely new personality. I understand that there is a soul that passes on to Dolor in the end, but it's never been proven that that soul keeps its character as the person it was in life, separated at least from the body. And that's its own whole field to discuss is what role does the body play in defining the person? What are your thoughts?
And Lee has fallen asleep because he's extremely tired. He's at one hit point. Uh, but he was doing his best to listen.
So she continues sailing around, musing to herself at this point. She sails around, and about an hour later, she gently bumps you with her beak and says,
Yes,
we're
yes,
back at the dock."
that was. I enjoyed that discussion very much.
I could tell.
You're too kind.
Best of luck to you
Well,
and your friends.
yes. Enjoy your time
Thank you, cousin.
anytime.
So what else are you guys doing? The circus is essentially going to close down around 4. It's now around 2 in the morning. You're not sure what happens to all the people because you were about a mile outside Passage is your best guess. Uh, as near as you could tell, they all the people who have to leave will walk back to Passage.
I would probably
Okay.
ask people while I'm there drinking.
What are you asking them about?
I mean, what are you doing whenever you leave here? You just
Most of
like
them.
walk back?
So when some of them will tell you that when the circus closes, there will be carts that will come if you've hired a cart to come pick you up. And so some people will be riding back on these carts. Most people, though, they'll just walk the mile.
Hmm. What's the city like? Big
Passage.
place? Hmm.
Yeah, one of the larger cities in Breland. Obviously a big transportation hub with the lightning rails coming in and out. Uh, very good source of fish. A lot of industry is headquartered there, as well as a very large enclave of House Orion, because, of course, of the lightning rails. In fact, House Orion founded Passage, and it's more or less named after their transportation related focus.
Hmm. Ah. Is there, and then there's a lightning rail that goes out of that, presumably.
Yes,
Eh,
the lightning rail essentially comes down from Fairhaven in Ondair, and then you could go then to the south. So either north or south, basically from Passage.
I believe where I need to go is south. Have you heard of the Black Pit?
So some of the people there have not heard of Black Pit. A couple of people do, and they look and say, "Why would you want to go to Black Pit? Black Pit is well known to be a wretched hive of scum and villainy. That's
Ah,
where deserters from the war hide out, thieves, murderers. There are mining operations in the area, Kyber crystal miners. So some of them, I'm sure, are headquartered there. The rumor is that House Kundarak has established a headquarters there as they're expanding their mining operations in the region around Black Pit. But that
this is
was
so.
relatively recent.
Oh man, this is a reputable house in good
Uh,
standing.
you would be familiar even in the future with House Kundarak. They are the Mark of Warding. They're Dwarven House, but they are basically deeply involved in all of the banking because they can protect money and vaults better than anyone else. Uh, the mark bearers, or at least all of them, are very adept at casting locking spells to keep out thieves, as well as many of them getting through locks, which is a skill unto itself. But Kundarak essentially is maybe one of the wealthiest houses. Cannith might beat them because of all the war profiteering they did, but Kundarak's had its hands on the levers of the banking system for a while. They are headquartered in the Moror Holds, but if there are Kyber crystals to be mined, being dwarves and money men, they definitely would want to have a hand in it if they can.
Right. Okay. Well,
But yeah, they would tell you. So if you're going south from Passage, the lightning rail, the closest the lightning rail probably would get you would be there's a pit stop near Galt. It's not in Galt itself, but there is a station on the way to Galt, which is a little bit further south, but not very far. And then there's Fort Light, which is probably the closest stop and comes after Galt. Though you'd have to pass then through the roads on the Green Haunt to get to Black Pit.
Sure.
But there's regular transportation between Fort Light and Cragmore. Cragmore is another relatively large city. In fact, House Kundarak has an enclave in Cragmore that they use essentially to oversee their operations in the Black Cab Mountains, where they mine for other things in addition to kyber crystals. But the location, because the Black Pit essentially is rumored to lead to kyber, at the very least, people know that there are a number, you can find kyber crystal in the ground in mines around the Black Pit.
Mhm.
And they also explain to you there is the Black Pit, which is like a mile wide hole in the ground. And then there's Black Pit, the town, which is just named because it happens to be right near the edge of it. And Black Pit, the town, is just a disreputable place.
Sure.
So if you need to hide, it's a good place to go because some of the people who are in Black Pit, like Black Pit is right on the edge of Breland, where Breland becomes Drome. So there are a number of creatures from Drome that also haunt the place,
Mhm.
usually because they've done something to piss off somebody powerful in Drome. But so they are also hiding out. It is a strange sort of waypoint where people from both Drome and from the Five Kingdoms all go to hide and lay low. And that tends to make it a bit of a controversial place. Like the rumors are that the government of Breland has its own agents there to monitor who's there, just because sometimes you do get people who've stolen like something important who turn up there trying to hide there till whatever heat there is on them dies down. So you will sometimes get there, at least the rumor is you will sometimes get spies and agents of the kingdom who are there seeking information on people who might be hiding there.
What's Breland's policy on extraditing war criminals?
So there is the Treaty of Thronehold does require, so that is its own controversial topic. But if you actually have someone who is declared to be a war criminal in Breland and somewhere else, they will extradite criminals. But there are definitely a lot of people who on Dare would say are war criminals, who Breland would say no, they're not. So they won't extradite those people.
Sure. Yeah.
But there have been trials since the war ended of certain people who, essentially nobody could muster up the half-hearted defense of them not being war criminals because they just went off script and committed atrocities. And so even the king of Breland had to say in the end, like, yeah, okay, that guy's a war criminal. And if you find a war criminal from one of the other nations, they'll extradite them, no problem. They don't care about them.
Well, Black Pit seems like the exact place where we need to go.
Right. And again, the reason you're going to Black Pit is there was information found in the future that the Aurum, collection of essentially just wealthy people who were rumored to control governments behind the scenes, seem to have had some sort of thing there. And the reports were that they released something like the bite.
Mm.
And so you were asked to go and just observe to figure out what actually happened there and then report back to that guy in Sharn. So not necessarily to stop it.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. How long do I get a sense about how long it might take to get there?
Um, Nobody's exactly, so it depends on how you're going, of course. If you're walking, how long is it? Mail's not working. Yeah, if you're walking, it's around 525 miles.
So hop, skip, and a jump away. 500 miles.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah, that's meet 'em,
Okay,
Mike.
so each round is 6 seconds, and if you dash,
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. But
If I
if
run
you,
nonstop.
yeah, it's only about, it's, you could cut that down to about 270 miles if you go to Fort Light first. And you can get to Fort Light in a matter of a couple days if you take the lightning rail.
Yeah. The lightning rail costs money.
Lightning rail does cost money, though how much depends on what level of accommodations you want.
Sure.
As it has, the lightning rail does have like essentially little bedrooms. Those are pretty expensive per night. And then it has essentially like down to the level of like coach class,
Hmm.
which is only like 5 gold per day traveled.
We'll see how long it takes, or how long it'll take, and how much these things are cost. We just got paid.
yeah, they should have like a king suite or something for like royalty. So
We have
um,
royalty with us.
that's right.
That's me.
Oops, hold on.
So Pebble runs up to Peleus.
Hey, Pele. How are we doing? What's up now? What are we doing now? What are we gonna
Did you
do
go
now?
small to come to me?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
in
you're
the
in the
Pixie
stage.
Kingdom.
Oh. No, he's shouting outside the Pixie Kingdom. He's like, Pele! Pele! Where are you, Pele?
I just sitting there chatting with somebody who knows. He'll go away if you ignore him. He'll get bored.
Oh, oh, blinking lights.
And he goes chasing a firefly.
Uh, I will find a person who has paid for a cart back to Passage,
Mhm.
and see if I can like gauge whether or not they have room for a couple of extras.
From what you gather, so you don't like pay for the whole cart, you buy a seat.
Okay,
Um, and so
gotcha.
they doubt that there will be open seats because there usually aren't. But you find someone who happens to be in a group of four who might be willing to barter to buy their seats.
Sure.
You would also, by the way, discover that it is so the year is 998, but it is uh Siphoros the 12th, which means that you essentially have and you're supposed to be in Black Pit by Arith the first, which is the next month. So you essentially have a little bit more than 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks basically to get there. If it's 525 miles and you can move 24-ish miles a day, that's 21 days.
Hmm.
which would put you there probably a little late unless you like force march a couple times.
No, we'll get seats on that rail.
Then you could probably get there in time from Fort Light to Black Pit. Would still take a number of days, but you'd still be there before Aerith the First. And I am going to have to keep opening up the calendar every time I talk about Eberron's dates because I do not know the months.
Shit, man, I
You
need
know,
to find a calendar apparently.
Sephiroth is essentially October in the Eberron calendar, though. And then Aerith is November, and then Vault is December. Sort of.
Okay, yeah. So, okay, so we're in Sephiroth, you said, right? Yeah.
It's Sephiroth the 12th, at least as far as this guy knows. That's when he came to the circus.
Yeah. We don't know. Oh, yeah, that's fair.
But you would gather that, it is Sephiroth the 12th. And it's been Sephiroth the 12th for him for a long time.
Got it. All right.
So I assume that Pebble is just running back to the bubble pop teapot every time his bubble bursts.
Yes, but in between, he's also seeking out Lee and Peleus. Because if he happens to see them first, then he will be distracted and will go, "Hey, what's up?"
So it seems as though Peleus is not responding. So, but you do see Lee in the distance.
Lily! Lily!
King Jelly.
I
What's up?
Not much. What's up with you?
Yeah, the alcohol's
Not
wearing
much.
off.
Not much.
So, what's new? What are we doing? Where are we
Uh,
going? What's going on?
I don't know. Not much. Hanging out here. Where's Pahelius?
I don't know. I went looking for him for a little bit, but then something, something happened. I don't remember what happened. But then I went back on the bubbles, and that was fun. And then I saw you, and now we're here.
Kind of tired.
Yeah, me too. You really day out. Maybe we should go find Peleus and get some sleep.
Yeah. Where do you think he is?
I don't know.
Let's go to the Lost and Found.
That's a great idea because Peleus is lost, so we need to find him.
Makes sense to me.
Me too. Okay, let's go.
So you make your way to the Lost and Found. As you go, you can see there is one of the giant dragonflies is buzzing overhead with a dwarf in the saddle. He seems to be, slightly off of the normal path for the dragonflies, but it seems as though he coaxed his dragonfly into flying him over the circus.
Good
But
hell, buddy.
as you approach, you see Durlagron, the displacer beast, outside the cart that is the Lost and Found. Durlagron looks at you and arches his back and stretches, getting up. Ah, I see you are the king of the circus.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. I wasn't
Thank
there for your coronation, so I wasn't aware of who specifically was being crowned.
That's okay. Now you know.
I do. So, have you lost something? Have you lost something, my liege?
Oh, uh, what? What's that? You
Uh,
lost a leech? You lost a leech?
I meant my king. I misspoke.
Oh, yep. Do you have any leeches? They're pretty yummy.
I'm afraid we don't have any leeches. Even
Mm.
the stream around the circus is thankfully leech free, as sometimes people do swim in there.
Uh, okay. They're pretty tasty. It's really good for fishing, but sometimes when you can't get the fish, it's just as good.
I will bear that in mind. I've never eaten a leech.
Oh, you should try it.
It may be some time, but like I said, I will keep it in mind. And if the opportunity arises, I will
Okay,
compare my experience to yours.
cool. That sounds like a good plan. So how's it going?
It's
Yeah,
going
what are
well.
you up to?
The children who were here found their parents again after falling asleep. I think we're all beginning to get tired now that the
Mm.
wards have been lifted. How about
Yeah.
you? I hear you had a much more eventful night than I have.
Oh yeah, a lot of things happened. I don't remember most of them, but it was really fun. I do remember the dog. The dog was so cool.
Which dog?
Ah, tiny.
I
No, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself at any rate. I
Yeah.
wasn't aware. I haven't seen any dogs in the park, but if one's here and it amused you, then so much the better.
Oh, he was so big. He was like way bigger than the elephant.
A dog bigger than an elephant?
Yep.
Hadn't heard about that.
Yeah. He's very cool. And then I drank some sleepy juice.
What is sleepy juice? Did
I
someone
don't know. I
drug
drank
your
some and
drink?
it made me a bit sleepy.
Hmm. That seems a little disturbing that someone would spike your drink with a potion of sleep.
I I don't know what spike means. What? How do you? How? Nobody put a spike in my drink. I wouldn't notice that. I don't want to choke on a spike.
No, spike means somebody took a liquid that you weren't expecting and put it into the drink that you intended to drink.
Oh, did they put a little bit more drink in my drink?
A different drink. They mixed your drink with something that put you to sleep.
Oh, oh, is that why I went to sleep?
It sounds like it.
Oh, maybe that is what happened. Oh,
Sometimes
you know what?
humans,
That reminds me, because Peyote was the one that gave me that drink, and that's who we're looking for. Because wait, yeah, this is the lost and found, right? We lost our friend, so we need to help you to help find him.
well, I can tell you he hasn't come by here, so we
Ah,
don't have
nice.
him here. He's probably in or near one of the attractions, though.
Okay.
Tell me, this sleepy juice, did he call it wine or alcohol?
That sounds familiar.
I understand. Perhaps your friend Paelius is in the Pixie Kingdom then, drinking wine.
Oh, maybe.
Sometimes humanoids spike drinks for unsavory purposes. So I'm glad it wasn't that.
Those are not good purposes.
Right.
Huh.
not good at all. But it sounds as if he simply gave you some wine, which also does make people sleepy sometimes.
Oh, okay. I'll have to ask him. I'll see if he put no drink in my drink.
I would check the Pixie Kingdom. If he's interested in drinking alcohol, that's the only place within the circus to do it.
That's a good idea. Okay, Louie, we're gonna go to the other place where they make us drink.
We're gonna go back to the Pixie Kingdom?
Yeah, that's where they made us drink, right?
Yes, we did. We did drink.
Yeah.
Well, you're the king. Lead the way. I'm not one to argue.
Okay.
So you go back and Jeremy Plum is there. And he doesn't ask to see your tickets when he sees the crown and your necklaces.
Of course not.
And he gives you shrinking potions again. And he looks inside his box and says, "We're running out of shrinking potions."
Uh-oh.
Thankfully, it's near the end of the night. We had crates and
Yes.
crates of them, but it's been a long time.
They'll be restocked.
We'll restock them. Pixies are very good at getting things done when we want to. And ultimately, if we can't, we'll just ask Cadfile and Cadfay to freeze time for us.
Oh.
But since we won't be open inordinately long next time, the nights will be normal. We probably only need like 2 or 3 crates of them. And that's usually relatively easy to pull together in an afternoon. So you shrink down and you see Paelius is having more drinks, eating more of the food. You're muted, Tony.
They probably walk in to me playing my viol. I don't know if there's any like other musicians around, but if they are, then I would sort of play along with them.
So there are no musicians here. You can also another thing is you notice that you can't hear the circus music generally inside the Pixie Kingdom. It's its own little bubble. So just like you can't smell the smells of the Pixie Kingdom outside, you can't hear the circus music here. But you get a fair sized crowd begins to move around you with their drinks and food to listen as you play. Give me either a performance or a VL check, whichever one you prefer.
Mm, I'm proficient in the viol.
So give me a VL check with charisma.
I guess well, let me do that from here. What did that do? I just okay, got it. All right. Charisma plus proficiency, so it is extra 2 on this.
Right. So
I'm drunk.
possibly because of the drink you've had. Uh, it's not up to your normal standards. You may not be aware of that. It's up to you. You see one person does throw a silver piece to you as you play, and the crowd still is listening in, but they're mostly involved in their own conversations as you continue on. But you're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you all hear this occasionally screechy viol playing as you approach the tent. And parting the flaps of the tent and moving through the spider silk, you see that up on a little platform there is Paelius playing the violin.
King
Swaying
has
offbeat.
entered.
Hey! Hey!
If people look over, and there's an acknowledgement that you are the king of the circus. The pixies seem more impressed than the circus goers in general, and many of them wave to you.
Oh, hi, 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 hi.
The royal wave is
Not anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that. So it's a certain way you're supposed to wave.
However you do it, that's the way it's supposed to be done.
Oh.
You're the king.
but the traditional royal wave is just that.
We are here to break tradition. That's
So
fantastic playing.
a pixie comes over to you and shows you to a table far away from the viol playing.
No, close. We want to be close.
She apologizes and takes you to a table that's near Paelius. And asks you what you want to eat and drink.
Whatever you got. One of each.
Oh, I'm not really hungry right now. Or thirsty.
But what about 5 or 10 minutes from now?
I don't know.
Well,
I never
then
thought
we
about
should
it
plan
like that.
ahead.
Well, I guess I gotta be prepared.
There you do.
So what should I have?
Let's have one of everything and then we can decide what we want.
That sounds good. One of everything, please.
So she goes off. Two pixies come back with these two enormous plates of everything, of one of everything. So it's one of everything for both of you. She also comes back with like a flight of drinks for Lee.
Yes. Get ready to take off.
I mean, you didn't give her specific instructions, so you gather that most of these drinks are non-alcoholic, but several of them are alcoholic.
It's all good. Well,
So,
here's to a safe landing, King
Okay.
Starfish.
Sounds good. Safe landing.
so as time passes, the number of people inside the tent dwindles until eventually you're the only ones in there. And you could feel the potion beginning to wear off. And one of the pixies comes over to you and says that the circus is going to close probably. So uh, you probably will not be able to get another potion to remain in the pixie kingdom. Although being royalty, perhaps you could convince Jeremy to give you another.
Oh, it's okay. We're just waiting for our friend to finish up, and then we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do.
Who are you waiting for?
Waiting
Oh.
for you.
We were waiting for you.
I was just playing my music.
Yeah, we heard.
We just got to go to Passage and book Passage.
Oh, okay. How we do that?
Well, we got to try and walk there. Maybe we can convince somebody to let us on a cart.
Right. And in talking to that guy, give me another charisma check. I forgot to follow up on this.
Just charisma.
Uh, Persuasion, basically. Or you could use deception. If you can think of a lie to get him to sell you his seats cheaper.
Why? What are you talking about? The king wants his seats.
Like it's just the king of the circus. Once we leave, it's you left the kingdom.
Still the king.
Mhm. Um, no, persuasion is fine.
Okay.
God damn it, dude.
So he'll still sell you his seats for 1 gold piece each, his and his friend's seats.
It's like, all right, give me 1 second. And I just go to everybody. All right, I need 1 gold piece to get your seats onto a card.
Okay.
One gold piece apiece.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll get Elzin's whenever he's back.
Okay. So yeah, he sells you his seats. And he hands you 4 tickets.
Um,
You see that they're marked with the sigil of House Orion. And you're on cart number 14.
all his tickets are for in different carts.
No, the seats are all together at least,
Oh.
but it's seats, 3, 4, 5, and
They're all
6.
aisle seats.
Right. They're right next
They're
to
all
the
the middle
bathroom.
seat. They're all the middle seat.
Hey, Pally, do you put a drink in my drink?
The hell does that even mean?
The big dog thing said that maybe you put a drink in my drink earlier, and that's why I was sleepy.
Big dog thing?
Yeah, with all the tentacles.
How drunk am I? Wake me up whenever they get here.
Oh.
Put my head down.
Maybe somebody put a drink in your drink.
No, I don't think he did. It just makes you tired and sleepy. Helps you rest.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. But that dog thing said put a drink in my drink. So I just had to check.
No, no, he wouldn't do that.
Okay.
And you watch as there's a compartment at the base of the Ferris wheel, and an enormous, from your perspective, door opens up, and you see a very tired looking hamster being let out.
What's that?
The
So
hamster, from your perspective, the hamster is, a good 12 feet long.
those are the real heroes of the circus. I begin to clap for the hamster.
The hamster and the pug, Pinecone, are then led off into what appears to be sort of like a stable at the south end of the Pixie Kingdom, where they can sleep for the night.
Nice. How do their accommodations look?
From what you can see of them, they look fine. I mean, it is essentially like 2 side-by-side dog houses.
Mm.
So you feel the potions begin to wear off, and you are ushered out of the Pixie Kingdom. One of the circus hands tells you that if you want to sleep in the feasting area, that should be fine, although you'll probably be the only patrons in the park. Since you're the king, it's no problem if you want to spend the night here. Or you could also find there's doubtlessly you'd be able to find some accommodation in Passage, although many of the inns might be closed this early in the morning. There are still several that are usually open throughout the night.
Alright. Pally, Lily, what are we gonna do?
We have a beautiful night sky and grassy grounds to sleep on. I mean, what else do we need?
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll sleep here.
We have these tickets to get on the carts. They will come in the morning.
And
Oh,
when is that?
cool.
In the morning. I don't know.
Right, but is that like soon?
Can we tell?
So the carts are already outside the circus
Oh, okay.
because everybody is leaving as the circus closes up.
Oh,
Oh,
we
yeah.
should
So it's closing
probably
now.
get on the cart then. We should probably get our seats.
Yeah, let's go. We can find a. Well, I'm sure we'll find a place when we get there. I can
Right.
nap in the.
So you go and find cart 14 easily enough. They're very nice carts. Uh, they're all being driven not by Dragon marked Orion house members, but by Orion house members, it seems, or at least hirelings of House Orion. And these appear to be like regular caravan carts, but they've been refitted to carry passengers. The seats are very well padded. It is clearly is a well put together operation. I don't know whether or not Lee wants to raise their handling of the lightning rails that almost hit him.
He hasn't put those together yet, so.
So you ride. It only takes a couple of minutes in the cart for you to ride the mile into passage, and you pass through the north gate into the city, into what appears to be essentially like a traveler's district, because you do see that there are inns on all sides. You can see there are a number of caravans waiting to get in the wee hours, and there are also several warehouses near this gate and entrance to the city where caravans are going to unload cargo. Most of the passenger wagons, like the ones you're in, travel deeper into the city, but the driver asks if anyone wants to get off and go to one of the inns.
Would that be us?
I mean, let's have a look. Does it seem like one of these places is open and
The ones here
accepting?
seem like the ones here seem like they're all open, and they may cater to the nighttime caravans that are coming in.
Hmm. I mean, if we want a room, it seems like as good a place as any.
Yes, yes, stop.
So you get off and go into one of the inns, the Bespoke
I
Wand.
Before we leave, I hug the cart driver and tell him what a great job he's done.
He's, I mean, give me a charisma check, or if
It's
you're if I just I'm wondering how I was going to say he's a little put off by the hug, but maybe not.
bring it in. Ah.
Yeah, I mean he's a little embarrassed to get a hug, but he's in good spirits about it as he puts an arm around you and pats you on the back.
Ah,
I
that's so
could
nicely.
I can tell that you had a very good time at the circus. I hope you have a good night.
You too. Take care out here.
And he begins to ride off.
Gonna miss that guy.
As the door opens, you can see that there is a common room where there are a number of people sleeping. It appears as though there are also interior rooms that you can pay for separately. And a woman behind the bar says, "Welcome to the Bespoke Wand. I assume you want accommodations. Unfortunately, the kitchen is closed."
Oh, that's fine. We're looking for the royal suite.
I'm afraid we don't have a royal suite.
Hmm.
We do have the king of the circus.
Yeah, something befitting the king of the circus, of course.
Ah, I didn't realize that's what you were talking about. Yes, of course. The royal suite. How foolish of me. The royal suite is a Galifara night.
For each of us?
No, you could all stay in one room.
It
Wow.
is, of course, large enough for all of us.
I mean, given that one of you is a halfling, if you're not, if you're willing to go two to a bed, you definitely could do it. It's two beds in this room.
I see.
Do you have
Can
two
we-
adjoining rooms?
Yeah, we could do that. Two Galifar for both rooms.
Right. That sounds good. What do
See,
you say?
that didn't me, Kurt, that didn't occur to me because honestly, because I was like, they would never want to split up. Remember what happened in the Planescape game?
I'm so
But
tired. I can't wait to get a good sleep.
she directs you to the two rooms upstairs. These are on the third floor, so you have to climb two flights of stairs to get to them. You notice there are no locks on these doors. There are these little bars inside the doors that come down, but she doesn't give you a key. And going in, you gather as soon as you go in that these are just two rooms that she jokingly referred to as the presidential suite, as it is just two relatively ordinary, inexpensive rooms. So it might be, worth two Galifar. Who knows what prices are like in this time period.
Well,
So you're
how's
not
it
sure.
compared to the rooms we're used to sleeping in the future?
This is probably better than those. It depends. Like Elzen absolutely would be like, what is this pigsty? Better than the accommodations that Pebble would have been introduced to when he first got to the city, and probably comparable to where Pebble's people wound up after Elzen put in a good word for them. So about normal. They're just, low
Got
cost
it.
accommodations for caravan people who don't necessarily care that much. It seems clean enough. You don't see pests. And in the future, you definitely would have seen a number of pests. Well,
Like,
other than Pebble, no pests.
this place seems nice. Okay. Good night, guys. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Where does he lay down?
Pebble, being the king, pushes the two beds together and lays across the middle of both of them. But yeah, you all get a long rest.
I'm just curious too, how the cold one is sleeping.
Hmm.
Sharing a bed with that might not be very fun.
Well, it
So,
depends on how
but
hot it is in here.
right, so you got two rooms, and so that's four beds. Nobody has to share a bed with Pebble.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
Although,
gotcha.
right,
We can if we want to.
yeah, you can if you want to, but I imagine Pebble's cold feet are beyond what you're used to. You probably don't wake up in the morning, as it's about 5 a.m. by the time you actually lay down for sleep. So you're getting up very late in the morning. Outside, you can hear the street seems very busy and is bustling. Looking out the window, you could see it's not nearly as crowded as what you're used to, because there were a lot of people crammed into Shosharn, but it is still very busy. You notice, somewhat unusually for you, there are a lot more people who have like crippling injuries in the street, like a lot of people missing limbs, a lot of people who are pretty horribly burned, all moving about. Not like it's most of the people out there. It's still a minority of the people that you see, but
But
it
enough
it's
to
like,
notice.
right, like it could be 5% of the people you see on the street.
Ooh.
I it that makes me feel bad that there's so many people that seem to be hurt. What do you think happened?
Um, yeah, I don't know. Is there a history roll? Maybe we can know of some events around the area that would have caused some shit like this.
Some war probably going on or recent.
Right. You would know. I mean, they would have taught you enough history for you to realize that the there was the last war that had just ended a couple of years before this.
Okay.
And all of the people you see could very easily have been veterans.
Probably survivors of the last war.
Hmm.
Well, good thing they survived.
One thing you'd be aware of is that when people did get attacked by the bite, they usually didn't just get wounded. They usually vanished into the bite and were never seen again. Whereas apparently the last war left a lot of horribly injured survivors. So what are you going to do? You're in your rooms.
Here's a question. Do drow trance in this? Like, what's their sleep like?
Yeah, it's that stuff hasn't changed for the elves, so you would still have gone into a trance rather than
Okay.
slept proper, which you're right, I'd forgotten about that.
I imagine while they were still sleeping, I would have just had a I would have gone out and just tried to see if I could find um the lightning rail and just see if I can gauge how much it would cost for various levels.
So, easy enough for people to direct you to the lightning reel. There is a central terminal in the city that's closer to it's almost in the exact center of town near the actual House Orion enclave. And they're generally speaking, like unless you're going as like cargo, there are generally three levels. There's like a low level coach that's one gold piece per day of travel. There's they don't call it business class, but it is like a better level of accommodation with larger seats. And that is five gold pieces a day. And then there are private rooms that you can get where there are, are fold away beds and actual furniture and meal service and things like that. For the lower class rooms, you have to pay separately if you want to go and get a meal. But the private rooms are 150 gold pieces a night.
And how many nights to get from here to Fort Light?
You expect it's going to be three.
Hmm. Okay, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is
If
definitely
we try to get the
beyond.
room.
Right. It is definitely beyond the price level of the person you found to talk to about this. Um,
Yeah.
as he sort of refers to it as for the effete rich people, for the dragon mark houses and the other nobility. They're the only ones who could afford something like that. Or I suppose if you have a patron who's willing to spring all expenses paid for these sorts of things. But he's never actually seen the inside of these rooms. He's just aware of them.
Right. Okay.
So he says there are usually several trains leaving a day, but he doesn't know the schedule exactly. You would have to go to the station or find someone from House Orion and they might know.
Yeah, I mean, I see no reason not to just go to the station. Just so I can ask somebody who works there or whatever. I figured it'd probably be pretty easy to find it if I just follow the rail.
Right. So you can see when the train comes into Passage, you actually can't see where it enters as it goes in through a tunnel underground. But it
Mm,
does go above ground again. Like if this guy essentially directed you to the center of the city, and you had to travel a little bit before you see uh, and hear first the train as it comes up out of these underground tunnels and heads into the station. The station is an enormous building that is fancier than anything you're used to. Like a lot of artistry went into building this enormous train station in the middle of Passage. And it seems there too as if no expense was spared, as the carvings on the outside are very intricate. You see an enormous badge of House Orion hanging over the entrance that's closest to you, and people coming to and fro in and out of this station as you approach. But finding you go up to one of the people who seems to work there, and they tell you that there are usually 4 to 5 trains a day, and that today there would be 4 trains. But the it, probably you might need to book tomorrow's train as this happens to be a holiday in Passage, and so there are a lot of people traveling. When you tell them you need 4 seats, she tells you that you might be able to find 4 seats on one of the trains, but you definitely wouldn't be able to book a room.
mm, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think the cheap ones is really all we need for now. We'll get to those nice ones one day. Well, I don't know about we. Paelius will definitely get to those nice ones one day.
I mean, I got a bunch of these coins. If you want some, I can share.
We would use a lot of money to get a big room. The I think the normal seats will be fine for now.
So the coach seats or uh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Is
the
Paelius doing this like when he's
Yeah, after my trance, it would be a while. I would go. I'm not like going heavy on anything. I'm not going to pay for anything. I'm just like trying to gauge so that I can just be ready and be able to lead the group there.
gotcha?
right. So buying tickets for the coach seats would be 3 gold to get to Fort Light per ticket per person. 15 gold for the comfort seats per person.
Right. I mean, I guess, I,
And the
if
Orion
people wanted to, I would go for I would be okay with the comfy seats.
I'm gonna go wherever Payali and Lily go.
So the woman you talk to says if, depending on when you want to leave, she would encourage you to buy tickets early because when the parade is over, a lot of people will come and buy tickets.
Um, sure.
Uh-oh.
Oh, parade, got it.
There's a
When
parade.
Is that the P
Yes,
word?
it's a
no,
holiday.
I'm
Wait,
not going to
wait,
mention that. I am not going to mention that.
what is the holiday?
It's the Fool's Night tonight. So there is the traditional Fool's Day parade.
What what is Fourth Day?
It's a celebration of all of the hard work that the least of us do in this society. And so many people will give their servants the day off and give them gifts and presents.
Oh, that's not very nice.
So you do see there are several people in the tavern in the downstairs area, which is opened again as the kitchen is opened, who seem to be excited to go and see the parade. Although most of the people here, in fact, all of them, as far as you can tell, aren't from Passage. They're here delivering things or passing through.
Here's a quick question. Were there seats available in the nicer seats for today?
If you go and get tickets while you're there, you could get 4 tickets in the comfortable seats.
Okay. Um uh, Later, I presume. I mean, I know we kind
Right.
well they
She
they are waking up later, but
Right. So, I mean, she would advise you if, like, you could probably still get coach seats later in the day, but the longer
hmm,
the day goes on, the more people will buy tickets out, depending on when you leave exactly. A lot of people who live here, who reside here, probably will stay for all of the Fool's Night festivities. A lot of other people are here just for the parade. And so once they've seen the parade, once it's passed by wherever they're going to be viewing the parade, they'll come back and buy tickets to leave. So
okay.
coach, you have a very good shot of getting tickets for today later on if you bought them later on. For the comfortable seats, you probably need to buy them now.
I'm so that I will do that, and whenever I get back, I will say, all right, you guys owe me 15 gold each
For what?
Okay.
for our tickets on the lightning rail.
You want me to ride on the lightning rail? The thing that
No,
almost killed me when I got here.
well, you're not going to be standing in front of it.
I'm not. I shouldn't even have to pay for my ticket. They should be comping me that for almost killing me.
So Pavel hands Paelius a handful of coins. It's actually 19 coins that he hands you.
Okay.
You also discover when you're buying the tickets that the clerk at the station who sells the tickets, when you hand over some of your money, he takes a look at it and says that, most places don't take foreign coins, but he gets out a scale and weighs it to make sure that it's the right weight, and he's willing to accept it.
You did get that Galifar though, right?
Right. So the stuff you got from Shebop was today's currency.
Right. Okay.
I okay. Yeah, I mean,
He says you could go and get your foreign coinage changed out for a fee with a money changer.
not worth it.
So you go back, you have your tickets, you have your argument about buying tickets.
I yeah, I mean, I think I would just tell him, listen, I don't think that's how the liability works on this. We were sort of just teleported there.
So you want me to take it up with our employers?
I
I
think
didn't see any
that's
markings that warned you what what it was though.
I mean, there were
It's
the
common
glowing
courtesy.
glowing
I
pyramids on the ground.
That's
I
not doesn't mean anything to me.
I moved away. I felt I felt it was right. Consider this a lesson learned.
Elzin would chime in to say, at the very least, Paelius didn't almost hit you with the lightning rail. And Elzin will pay you the 15 gold, I'm sure.
Well, I'll pay him 15.
And I get 4 extra gold back from Pebble, apparently. So I will keep that.
It's fine. He's going to
Pavel
underpay
is
you at
none
some
the
point too.
wiser.
I'm like, this this will get put to good use. That's how I feel about it. Even if the good use is a drink or some other thing. Yeah, was there a time of day? It's leaving presumably after this fucking parade.
I assume you would have gotten tickets for the nearest one, which leaves at 3 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
The
I got to give these people time enough to wake up.
right. I assume they're going to get up like later in the morning, like around noon,
Mhm.
which would still be enough time, even, even allowing for the parade, still be enough time for you to get to the train station. But
Got it.
TSA, who knows how long TSA is going to take?
Got to get there an hour early. Are we crossing any borders?
No, you're currently in Breland and you'll remain in Breland the whole time. Black Pit
Okay.
itself is in Breland. Like right now, you're at the southern-ish border of Ondair.
Okay.
But as you make your way to the train station, you definitely hear the sounds of the parade.
It looks like Fort Light is in Thrain.
Port, yeah, no, it's not. I'm not on the right map. Thrain
Like,
is way up in the. So Breland is here, right?
I'm looking at a different map, but
This is Fort Light.
right.
So it is on the border, but it's still within this little area of Thrain. So this is the line for Thrain. This thing here, this dotted line.
Yeah, I see
So
it.
yeah, you may be right. Fort Light
Fort
may
Light is
be
on the inside of that.
right. And I'm mistaken. Passage is in Ondair, so you will be crossing two borders.
Yeah.
Black Pit is in Breland, though.
I guess I might have asked whenever I was buying the tickets, about, anything with the do with border crossing.
After the Treaty of Thronehold, one guy comes tells you when you ask about it, there's no problem in crossing borders anymore. To the extent that there are hostilities in the future, and there very well could be, that could all change on a moment's notice. But for right now, nobody is going to stop a House Orion caravan or train because House Orion is far too powerful for that. Even during the war, their caravans sometimes crossed borders. There were checkpoints. People might look through the cargo to make sure you weren't transporting weapons or contraband or people. But these days, checkpoints like that are few and far between, and you don't just pull over the lightning rail.
No, you just run people over.
He looks over at Lee and cocks his head a bit and says, I mean, sometimes people get hit by the lightning rail, but that's pretty rare.
It's not rare if it happens to you.
Right, but I mean, they're the glowing pyramids on the ground to let you know the train is coming. So
Right, right.
easy to avoid.
Yeah, that would have helped in if I had known that.
I I'm sorry that happened to you. I didn't think. You're obviously not from Corvair.
No.
I'm not from there.
That makes sense as well. Are you related?
Oh, whoa.
I mean, we're friends.
Close enough.
Can't just ask that.
All birds know each other. Every racist knows that. So, but as you make your way to the train station, like I said, you hear the sounds of the parade. And you can see there are a lot of people moving in the direction of the parade route.
Keep an eye on Pebble. I'm getting ready to grab him because he's been known to just take off.
For you see him on one of the parade floats singing "Shake It Up, Baby." But you make it to the train station in time for the train, and you get onto the train almost immediately. Though, as you enter the car where your seats are, you begin to feel an odd and uncomfortable feeling in the back of your neck, almost like the crystal there is beginning to grind against the bone. And all of you make me a Constitution save.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I attempt an action point. At least one. 9 doesn't seem good enough. Cocksucker.
You keeping the 9?
It doesn't matter.
It
I'll
might.
take the
Degrees
4
of failure / success.
I mean, I would also ask Lee, are you keeping the 12?
I had the 12.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pebble, are you keeping the 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's
Let's take a
Paeli's.
9. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So Paelius, you are essentially doubled over and you can't take any actions. You all notice, though, in the train, as you come in, there are 4 people in seats at the far end of the train who also begin to double over in pain. All the 3 of which, and Pebble, you aren't doubled over completely in pain, but you're at disadvantage on attack rolls
Okay.
if it should come up. And you could see these other 4 people who, one of whom appears to be different from the rest. He appears to just be a human. The others appear to be. Thought I had it open, and I don't. So there's I'm sorry. So yeah, there's 1 human, there's 2 dwarves, and then there's 2 elves. I have to roll another one.
That guy's fine.
Right. Only one of them seems to be completely doubled over in pain, but they get up and immediately, looking back at you, say, "Time, agents," and begin to draw weapons. They're also in this car. There's a Warforged who's just standing right next to where you are, who appears to just be a guard. He is wearing livery that has the mark of House Orion on it. But he is sort of looking back and forth, uncertain what's about to happen as these 4 humans, humanoids, dwarves, and elves and human begin to advance on you.
Just like, what did you say?
Ah, this hurts. Oh God, they got weapons.
And that's where we can end it for this week.
House Orion will pay.
Well, they're not dressed as Orion. They just appear to be passengers.
I don't care. I don't know that. I just got
But
on the lightning rail. Something bad has already happened.
The
Second
Warforged
time.
the Warforged next to you appears to work for House Orion, though, or
Exactly, so
belong to House Orion. Who knows?
Yep. So we'll have to take him out first since he's right next to us.
So the disadvantage on attack rolls, is that for the remainder of whatever encounter may be coming up?
No, you'll make another save at the end of your turn,
Okay.
as will Pyelius, to see if you can overcome the effect of what feels like the crystal trying to burrow into your head.
Okay. Bastards.
I mean, one of them is also doubled over in pain. So they are also affected by this somehow. You don't recognize them.
But they called us time agents, so they somehow know we're here.
They know something.
Yeah.
So thank you for playing.
Yep. Thanks for running.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Later.
Later.
everyone.
All right. Take it easy.